Welcome back to the Think and Speak podcast. Daniel, today's lesson is practical and powerful. 50 daily English sentences you must know. Why is learning full sentences more effective than memorizing single words?
Because, Emma, real communication happens in sentences, not isolated vocabulary. If you memorize useful daily sentences, you build fluency faster. You learn grammar, structure, and natural rhythm at the same time.
Exactly. Many learners know thousands of words, but they still struggle to speak naturally in daily situations like ordering coffee, making plans, or expressing opinions.
Today, we're giving our viewers ready-to-use sentences for real-life conversations, work, social life, daily routines, and modern communication.
If you want to sound confident and natural in English, this lesson is for you.
Stay with us until the end because we'll explain not just what to say, but why we say it that way.
And before we begin, like this video and comment below. Which daily situation is hardest for you in English?
Let's start building your daily English toolbox.
Daniel, let's begin with daily routine sentences. Many learners struggle to talk about simple everyday activities like waking up, going to work, cooking, or relaxing. Why is mastering daily routine sentences so important for beginners and intermediate learners? Could you provide examples of essential daily expressions and explain the grammar behind them? For example, how do we correctly use the present simple tense when talking about habits? What is the structure of affirmative, negative, and question forms? Also, how can learners expand basic sentences into more natural and detailed ones? For instance, how can "I wake up at 7" become a more descriptive sentence? Finally, could you provide a structured list of daily routine sentences learners must know and explain how repetition of these sentences improves automatic speaking skills?
Daily routine sentences are the foundation of conversational English because they describe repeated actions. The tense we use for habits and routines is the present simple. Structure: affirmative, subject plus base verb. I wake up at 7. She works from home. Negative: subject plus do/does plus not plus base verb. I do not wake up early. She does not work on weekends. Question: do/does plus subject plus base verb. Do you wake up early? Does she work late? Notice that with third-person singular, he, she, it, we add s to the verb. He wakes up. She drinks coffee. Here are 15 essential daily routine sentences. I wake up at 7 a.m. I check my phone first thing in the morning. I take a shower. I get dressed. I have breakfast. I go to work. I start work at 9 a.m. I take a break at noon. I have lunch with colleagues. I finish work at 6 p.m. I go to the gym. I cook dinner. I watch a series. I scroll through social media. I go to bed at 11 p.m. To expand a simple sentence, add adverbs, time expressions, or additional clauses. Basic: I wake up at 7. Expanded: I usually wake up at 7 because I like to start my day early. Add frequency adverbs: always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. I usually drink coffee in the morning. I sometimes work late. Repetition of these patterns builds automatic sentence formation. When you master daily routines, you gain control over high-frequency communication. Simple sentences build strong foundations.
Daniel, let's talk about social interaction. Many learners feel nervous when they need to greet someone, make small talk, or respond politely in everyday conversations. What are the most important daily social sentences everyone must know? Could you provide examples for greetings, introductions, polite requests, and casual responses? Also, can you explain how modal verbs like can, could, and would make speech more polite? For example, what is the difference between "give me the menu" and "could I have the menu"? Why is tone important? Additionally, how can learners practice these social sentences in realistic contexts such as ordering food, meeting new people, or starting a conversation at work? Please provide structured examples and explain the grammar clearly.
Social sentences are essential because English communication depends heavily on politeness and tone. Let's begin with greetings. Hi, how are you? It's nice to meet you. How's your day going? Long time no see. What have you been up to? Notice present continuous in how's your day going? It emphasizes an action happening now. For introductions. My name is Daniel. I work in marketing. I'm originally from Canada. I've been living here for 3 years. Present perfect continuous. For polite requests, modal verbs are crucial. Direct command, give me the menu. Imperative, sounds rude. Polite request, could I have the menu, please? More formal, would you mind bringing the menu? Modal structure. Modal plus base verb. Can you help me? Could you explain that again? Would you like some coffee? Could and would sound softer than can. Here are 15 must-know social sentences. Excuse me, can I ask you something? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that, please? That sounds great. I totally agree. I'm not sure about that. Let me think about it. That makes sense. I appreciate your help. No problem at all. It was nice talking to you. Tone matters because English relies on intonation. Rising intonation signals a question. Soft tone signals politeness. Practice by role-playing real-life situations. Ordering food. I'd like a latte, please. I would like. Meeting someone new. What do you do? I work as a software developer. Politeness builds confidence and social fluency.
Daniel, daily English is not only about routines and politeness. Many learners struggle to express opinions, preferences, and feelings naturally. What are essential daily sentences for sharing thoughts and emotions? Could you provide examples using phrases like I think, I feel, in my opinion, and it seems that? Also, how can learners avoid sounding repetitive when giving opinions? Could you explain how conjunctions such as because, although, and however make sentences more advanced? Additionally, how can learners practice expanding short opinions into more detailed responses? Please provide structured examples and grammar explanations.
Expressing opinions requires structure and connectors. Start with basic opinion phrases. I think it's a good idea. I believe this is important. In my opinion, this works better. I feel that this approach is effective. It seems that things are changing. Structure. Subject plus reporting verb plus clause. I think plus subject plus verb. I think this is useful. To avoid repetition, vary verbs. I suppose. I guess. I assume. I would say. Now let's add conjunctions. Because introduces a reason. I like this app because it's easy to use. Although introduces contrast. Although it's expensive, it's worth it. However, connects two independent clauses. It's expensive. However, it's high quality. Advanced example. In my opinion, remote work is beneficial because it increases flexibility. However, it can reduce social interaction. Here are 10 daily opinion sentences. I prefer working from home. I'm interested in technology. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm worried about the deadline. I'm proud of my progress. That sounds interesting. I'm not a big fan of spicy food. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I agree to some extent. I disagree with that point. Practice by expanding short answers. Short, I like it. Expanded, I like it because it's practical and easy to understand. Conjunctions transform simple English into expressive English.
Expressing opinions requires structure and connectors. Start with basic opinion phrases. I think it's a good idea. I believe this is important. In my opinion, this works better. I feel that this approach is effective. Seems that things are changing. Structure. Subject plus reporting verb plus clause. I think plus subject plus verb. I think this is useful. To avoid repetition, vary verbs. Suppose. Guess. Assume. I would say. Now let's add conjunctions. Because introduces a reason. I like this app because it's easy to use. Although introduces contrast. Although it's expensive, it's worth it. However, connects two independent clauses. It's expensive. However, it's high quality. Advanced example. In my opinion, remote work is beneficial because it increases flexibility. However, it can reduce social interaction. Here are 10 daily opinion sentences. I prefer working from home. I'm interested in technology. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm worried about the deadline. I'm proud of my progress. That sounds interesting. I'm not a big fan of spicy food. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I agree to some extent. I disagree with that point. Practice by expanding short answers. Short. I like it. Expanded. I like it because it's practical and easy to understand. Conjunctions transform simple English into expressive English. Daniel, finally, let's discuss problem solving and daily challenges. Many learners need English for work, customer service, or travel. What are essential sentences for handling problems, asking for clarification, or managing misunderstandings? Could you provide examples for workplace communication, technical issues, and travel situations? Also, how does using conditional sentences improve professional communication? For example, how can "if there is a problem, I will fix it" sound more structured? Please include grammar explanations and practical daily sentences learners must know.
Problem-solving sentences are crucial in professional English. For clarification. Could you clarify that? I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean exactly? Let me confirm something. For workplace communication. I'll take care of it. I'll get back to you soon. We need to meet the deadline. Let's find a solution. There seems to be an issue. I'll look into it. Conditional sentences improve professionalism. First, conditional structure. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. If there is a problem, I will fix it. If you need help, I'll assist you. Second, conditional, hypothetical situations. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. If I were you, I would double-check the report. Travel situations. Where is the nearest station? How much does this cost? I'd like to check in. Is breakfast included? I've lost my luggage. Professional tone often uses modal verbs. I would appreciate your feedback. Could you send me the details? Mastering these 50 daily sentences builds real-world fluency. Language becomes powerful when it is practical.
Daniel, let's continue with daily English sentences related to time management and productivity. In modern life, people constantly talk about being busy, setting deadlines, scheduling meetings, and managing tasks. Many learners struggle to express these ideas clearly and professionally in English. What are the most important daily sentences for talking about time, plans, and responsibilities? Could you explain how to use the present continuous for future arrangements? Going to for planned intentions and will for spontaneous decisions? For example, what is the difference between "I'm meeting a client tomorrow," "I'm going to meet a client," and "I'll meet the client"? Also, could you provide structured examples that learners can use at work or in daily conversations? Finally, how does mastering these time-related expressions increase fluency and confidence in professional communication?
Time management language is essential in both professional and personal communication. Let's begin with 3 important future forms. First, the present continuous for fixed arrangements. Structure: subject plus am slash is slash are plus verb plus ing. I'm meeting a client tomorrow. This form is used for scheduled or confirmed plans. Second, going to for planned intentions. Structure: subject plus am slash is slash are plus going to plus base verb. I'm going to meet a client next week. This suggests intention but not necessarily a fixed arrangement. Third, will for spontaneous decisions or promises. Structure: subject plus will plus base verb. I'll meet the client. This is often decided at the moment of speaking. Here are essential daily productivity sentences. I'm working on a new project. I have a deadline tomorrow. I need to finish this by 5 p.m. Let's schedule a meeting. I'm available this afternoon. I'm not available at that time. Can we reschedule? I'll send you the report. I'm going to review the document. I'm meeting the team at 10 a.m. Notice modal verbs for politeness. Could we postpone the meeting? I would appreciate more time. Using precise time expressions such as by, until, and during improves clarity. I'll finish it by Friday. I'll work on this during the afternoon. I'll be busy until 3 p.m. Mastering these structures allows you to speak confidently about plans and responsibilities. When you control time expressions, you control professional communication. Fluency grows when grammar meets real-life function.
Daniel, for our final question, let's talk about everyday problem solving in personal life. Situations like giving advice, making suggestions, or handling small conflicts. Many learners don't know how to say things politely when they disagree or want to suggest a solution. What are the most important daily English sentences for giving advice and making suggestions? Could you explain the grammar behind modal verbs like should, ought to, and phrases like why don't we? Or how about? Also, how can learners soften their tone to avoid sounding too direct? Finally, could you provide practical examples for common situations such as helping a friend, resolving a misunderstanding, or suggesting improvements at work? Please explain clearly with grammar structures and modern usage.
Giving advice and making suggestions requires both correct grammar and emotional intelligence. Tone matters. Let's begin with should. Structure. Subject plus should plus base verb. You should talk to your manager. This expresses advice. Ought to has a similar meaning but sounds slightly more formal. You ought to apologize. For softer suggestions, use question forms. Why don't we try a different approach? Structure. Why don't plus subject plus base verb? How about plus verb plus ing? How about taking a short break? Let's plus base verb for inclusive suggestions. Let's discuss this calmly. To soften disagreement, use phrases like, I see your point, but I understand what you're saying, however. That's a good idea, although we might need another option. Here are practical daily sentences. You should get some rest. You shouldn't worry too much. Why don't we start earlier? How about meeting tomorrow instead? Let's find a compromise. I think we need a better solution. Maybe we could try something different. If I were you, I would double-check. Second conditional. Second conditional structure. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. If I were you, I would speak honestly. This structure is commonly used for advice. In a misunderstanding. I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding. Let's clarify the situation. Softening language reduces conflict and builds professionalism. Advice is not only grammar. It is tone, structure, and empathy. Master these daily sentences, and you master real communication. Thank you for watching Think and Speak podcast. Like this video and comment below. Which daily English sentence will you use today?